What did the British ever do for us? Part 2. Hi, hello, welcome everyone. Today we're going to be watching the second part of this wonderful video from the channel called Reef Rebels. And we, and especially I, am going to learn probably a lot more because last week I was amazed by all the stuff that I learned from this one video and that I didn't know before. Parts of it I knew before that, but other parts were completely new to me, and it seems like the Brits have invented everything that we are right now. Starting by cars, by planes, by boats, the internet, the light. Also, something that I have thought about in the last week, because as all of you know who watched the very first part of the video, that I only knew one invention of the Brits. It hurts me to admit, but the only thing that I kind of had in my mind when going into the first part of this video was a Mini Cooper, and now I do have a second one, and this one's so much better, and it is... Hi, it's me. It's Editing Nicole. At this point in the video, I felt the need to cut it because turns out that the great British invention that I knew actually wasn't a British invention at all. And believe me when I say, this was a stupid one. A real stupid one. After Googling it, after recording the video, I felt as stupid as I ever felt. So no, I am not going to tell what invention it was and who the person was that I thought was British. Let's get back into the video. Let's get into the video, shall we?
Then we have the World Wide Web, a gas stove, tin cans, and a really big one. I know you've been wondering where I get to this one. An alarm clock.
Yeah, I put...
that makes tea.
Yeah, I started the video
Again,
like 10 seconds
I could have
before
added many,
where we
many
left
more
off.
things, but
okay, let's
go
get
on
into the new
fundamental
stuff.
Science, the stuff that all other science and technology actually depends upon. But before we do that, maybe just like and subscribe. How about the discovery of the proton, neutron, and electron? The three building blocks of, well, frankly, just about everything.
All three of them?
All discovered by Brits. And the Brits also discovered the opposite of matter, which is antimatter, by Paul Dirac.
Oh, what?
And more recently, the last particle in the standard physics model of just about everything, the Higgs boson, which was proposed by Peter Biggs.
No way.
Now let's go a little bit bigger, but not a great deal bigger.
Particle?
The atom, the model of the atom with a hard nucleus with the electrons flying around, was essentially discovered by the British. And I'm being a little bit loose there because there is a famous New Zealander involved with this, but frankly in those days Kiwis were basically Brits. What about biology? Well, in my view, the two biggest advances in biology were both discovered by Brits. The first one is Charles Darwin's theory of evolution.
Wait, he was...
And then you have the discovery...
He was a Brit? I always assumed he was American. London. Wait, who's John Murray? Why is he mentioned here? The right of translation is reserved. Okay. By Charles Darwin, M.A. Fellow of the Royal Geological, Linnean, etc. Societies. Author of Journal of Researches during HMS Beagle's voyage around the world. I thought he was American. And also, what the heck? Neutrons, protons, the other tons, and the God particle? I've been in this video for like 10 seconds and I'm baffled already. Like, what the frick is going on?
And then you have the discovery of the structure of DNA.
Yeah, of course we have. Oh, four different people.
Fundamental molecular biology, of which the whole DNA revolution has been based on. And yes, I know Watson was an American and Wilkins was a Kiwi.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, of course, the discovery of the structure meant this explosion in growth of the whole DNA industry, effectively, such as DNA fingerprinting, now invented by
Really?
the Brits. Now let's go back to more basic, very fundamental, and possibly more important medicine. We have antiseptics, antibiotics, vaccines, all three invented by Brits. But
What?
let's go back to physics now. So we have Newton's laws of motion, Newton's laws of gravity. Where would we be without Sir Isaac Newton? We essentially couldn't predict anything.
What
Back on to
the
the
heck?
physics, the laws of optics and the way that radio waves travel, light, the laws of electromagnetic propagation in signals and wires.
Did other nations invent anything at this point? What's going on? What the heck? Those are like fundamental inventions. Like, I, my brain. I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry, my brain just stopped working there for a second because all of this is so overwhelming. Why didn't we learn this at school? I only learned about Bell in school. I guess he was the only one. Okay, I gotta admit, I didn't really pay attention to physics and chemistry in school because I found it really, really boring back then. Also, history, which might explain where all of this is coming from. Should have paid more attention. I'm sorry. I'm learning now. It's never too late.
Scotsman James Clerk Maxwell's. You don't have any mobile phones or computers or communication cables without Maxwell. And then we have electromagnetic induction from Michael Faraday's. If you
Wow.
don't understand magnetic induction, there are no electric motors, there's no electric generators. Basically, the whole backbone of the electricity system, you owe it to the Brits.
Wow.
Or in mathematics, and there are a lot here, so I'm going to pick the really big one, which is the invention of calculus. Yes, there was another guy called Leibniz who also invented it at the same
Oh, he
time, but
seems to be
essentially
German.
Newtonian calculus is at the basis of a huge amount of advanced science of engineering. It's as fundamental as algebra and arithmetic.
Wow.
Now, this list is not complete. There are literally a zillion other things that the Brits have
I really
contributed
believe
to.
that at this point.
Actually, there is just one more. The
Okay.
Flushing Loo.
The what?
Now, obviously, much of what those British
Flushing
scientists did was based on other scientists from lots of other countries, and the Brits were just part of this magnificent thing which we call Western civilization. Of course, there were French and there were Germans, and the scientific development
Yeah,
and
there were
advancement then
Germans.
spread to the United States and now to the Far East. But the contribution of the Brits were utterly fundamental on so many levels. Now, without those advancements, our lives would be short, harsh, and frankly, just bloody horrible. The world's population would still be about 1 billion, which is what it was in about 1800, rather than the roughly 8 billion that it is today without that wonderful science and technology. Now, if you add up all the bad things that the Brits may have done, you know, the Amritsar massacre, the Bengal famine, and all the other bad things that happened, albeit only occasionally considering the attitudes of the times. But even if you add all those up, it's not a drop in the bucket compared with what has been achieved and the lives that have saved.
Okay. First of all, this comparison to make this comparison at all is problematic. And second of all, well, that's comes back to my first point. You can't compare. It's just there's not a good bucket and a bad bucket, and if you put more into the good bucket, all of the bad stuff is forgiven. This is a problematic part of the video, you guys. I don't like this. Because yes, there can be good and bad. There always is in everything in this world. However, to compare it and then to say, oh yeah, they did so much good and so much for the development in the history for humanity, which they did, but it doesn't make these other things go away or take away from the gruesomeness of what has happened. So he made a really good video. However, I don't like this part. I would have cut that out, to be honest. problematic.
How many lives, how many babies,
Yeah, but
children
you can't.
were saved by antibiotics and
Yes,
antiseptics,
true.
clean water, or the
I
uses
wish
of
you wouldn't have done
electricity,
that.
communications and transport? Famines are effectively a thing of the past because, well, for one reason, we can ship food around from one place to another very, very easily. Now, look, it turns out that I was born in England, and even though I'm an Aussie, so I am biased. But I don't think it makes sense to be proud of what your ancestors did or were unless there's some evidence that you carry on those ideas, values, and traditions. But even if you don't measure up to those ancestors or other people's ancestors, it's just bad form not to appreciate what those people did for us. The contribution of the Brits was
Yeah, you can also be proud. You can be, as I understood him, he's saying you shouldn't be proud. Maybe I got him wrong, but I think that you should be proud even if you didn't invent antibiotics, but you can be proud that a person that lived in the same country as you did. I mean, you could be proud of an American, as a UK person, as a Brit, you could be proud of an American who invented something, or you could be proud of a German who invented something, and the other way around. You can be proud of those inventions of the person who did that and appreciate it. I feel like he's mixing up the meaning of the word proud, to be proud of somebody because he did this or that and was living in the same country as you did, like to be proud of the nationality that you were born in. That is not really a bad thing, to be proud of your nationality and the stuff that people did who were born in the same country. You can be proud. Frick, I didn't cut that out. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need to turn that off. I forgot to turn that off. It's just a program that tells me to move. Hold on to the seat of your chair and pedal your legs as if riding a bike for 30 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut this out. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I was talking about something so important and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, please move. Okay, let's get back. So, yeah, you can be proud of people who lived either in the same country or in another country and did invent something. It doesn't have nothing to do with politics. And even though you're saying, oh, I'm really proud of me being a Brit because we Brits did so much, that's not nothing to be ashamed about. You can be proud, you can appreciate the stuff that these people did. I'm proud that there were clever people on this planet, in the UK in this case, that were clever enough to invent this. And they were a human, just like I am. I'm proud of us as a humanity when we do stuff like this. So I feel this is kind of going into the wrong direction here in the end. And that's a pity because I really, really like the video. I feel as if he should stick to talking about the inventions rather than bringing politics into this. I don't really like that. I kind of forgot to put the picture back on big. I'm sorry. Okay, but let's listen to him. Maybe he has something else to say at the end of the video.
was truly incredible, and we should all be grateful that they came along
Yes.
and did more than virtually any other group to pull humanity out of the appalling, difficult lives that existed before the 1800s. So, do you think the ledger for those bastard Brits, is it positive or negative?
I'm still confused on this term he's using, the master braids. Does that have something to do with the clip he showed in the beginning of the first part? He showed, like, what was it, Life of Brian or something, Monty Python, kind of? Is that where it comes from? Because I don't like that term, but if it's a meme and I don't know it, that's completely fine. I guess I'm not a Brit, so I can't judge. However, yeah, we should be proud. We should be proud. I don't know though about the one sentence he said at the end of a video where he's like, yeah, they have done more than any other country. How do we know that? I mean, don't get me wrong here, the list was impressive AF. And I myself during the video was more than just one time baffled by what you guys have invented and wondered if there were any other nations who did anything at all. Because it sounded like you did everything. But is it real? Like, is there a complete list of all inventions of humanity and like a measurement of which nation did how much of that? So that we can surely say, okay, the Brits invented the most stuff. There sure is on the internet somewhere, but we don't know if it's accurate. Should have been science based in order to be accurate, I guess. That video, though, and also I'm sorry that I made this a two-parter because the second part was really short. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Today's a shorter video and I'm sorry, but on the other hand, many people on this channel don't seem to like watching longer videos, so this might be for you. Let me know about the length of the videos that you usually watch and what you would want me to. And like, if I made this a whole video and if I made this like a 40-minute video, be honest, how many of you would have watched it from start to finish? Be honest with me, because I don't want to make too long of a videos and no one's going to watch it in the end. So I'd rather have a two-parter maybe. And next time I'm going to just stop earlier. Thank you so much for watching this video together with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye!